Hello there, short friends. I am going to ramble about something, and maybe I am just going a little bit crazy, but bear with me. Some time ago, there was a review by Schologrim. And in this review, he obviously had a little issue, wherein basically the handle broke off and the tang was relatively small in comparison to the size of the handle. Now, Schologrim went on to elaborate on some more historical panebas. I can't remember, I don't frankly know what it's exactly called or the vernacular, but this particular iteration of blade from TFW, wherein the tang should be longer and there's some historic content. Anyway, so I was looking around and I later noticed this. So TFW put out a little thing on their website that said, hey, we found a flaw in one of our panebas, so we're putting the whole batch on sale, and what a deal it is. Go to this website. Okay, so that's neat. Here's me, saying like, hey, is this the one from blah? And I haven't responded just as of yet, but this is pretty early on. I probably got better shit to do than respond to trolls on Facebook. Anyway, so the thing here is $140, but the thing I want to draw attention to is on this thing, what we see is a sale of $140, and maybe it's that I'm not looking around close enough, but I don't see any indication on the website right now that this is because of a flaw in the site, in the product, the panebas, if I'm saying that right. Yeah, and personally, I'll tell you, I've owned one of these blades before, and they are a very comfortable, nice feeling blade. I it's a good feeling sword. I don't recall it feeling light, and I certainly didn't have the same experience, but I didn't do as much cutting back in the day. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that there's a flaw with it, but this doesn't necessarily say this sale is because of a flaw. If I go to the home page, I don't know, I'm going to look around here for a second. I mean, I'm not seeing anything that specifically says, yo, that shit is broken. Anyway, the point is that, I mean, first I suppose, well, it's too late to do first, but I should note that, TFW has had some advertising stuff that really has rubbed me the wrong way in the past, and I'm maybe a little more jumpy or a little more harsh on them than I would be to other vendors. Now, that said, to me it seems tactless that if you know the blade has a really short little nubbin of a tang, or not tactless, dangerous, frankly, that you would sell the sword and not tell people that that's the case, knowing that it could be dangerous. Now, from my personal opinion, Schologrim was very generous and very kind, and not necessarily kind, but praised the pros of the blade, objectively, but from a particular use case where you said, hey, at the end it broke, but this is a really good one-handed blade. The blade is good. It held up well, but the handle broke, so that's not good. And he still gave some praises where praise was due to the blade itself. But what if you were choking down, or you were using the lower half or the lower portion of the blade, struck something, and that thing turned into a helicopter of death and hurt somebody, or the user? I've broken swords and done things with them and escaped, by the skin of my teeth, and it's not good. I mean, that seems like a pretty significant issue, and I don't necessarily take issue with TFW saying, hey, I think it's a good response, frankly, to say, hey, one of these was fucked up. We should do something about that. I think that's good. But then to acknowledge that there is an issue with the piece and to discount them, to say, okay, we'll revisit or whatever they're going to do, but there's a problem, we should discount it. Good. That's a good thing, and I take no issue with the price and trying to get some money out of the product that's flawed because the blade is still good. But I do take issue with the people that haven't seen that review from Schologrim, or didn't necessarily see that Facebook post, or don't necessarily know what the issue is, not elaborating on it on the website. Now, I'm also taking a lot of assumptions here, assuming that the review that Schologrim made is the failure that is leading to said sale. I could be wrong about that, but the timing is a bit serendipitous. So I don't know. I saw that and I was like, it just seems a little shitty. It seems a little shitty that you would do that. You would acknowledge that you have a problem, be smart enough to say, oh yeah, that's not good. Be smart enough to discount the product, saying, hey, this, we shouldn't charge full price for this thing. It's a little fucked up. But then not to tell people what the issue is. Yeah, especially given that. Especially, it's not like it's a little dull, or the clip doesn't hold the sword well, or the scabbard even comes, split, or the rattan's a little loose, or something else that might cost you $100 to fix. I mean, that's a pretty significant flaw that you're never gonna see. Most people are never gonna disassemble the sword. It's kind of looks like it's epoxied in there from the construction I was able to see. It's got a little pin. I don't think most people are gonna see that. Now, I can say that with some certainty as a person that used to own a Filipino, one of the Pandas that was from TFW. I used to have one. I never took the thing apart. I didn't cut anything with it. That one didn't break. I had a reasonably positive experience with it before somebody traded it to me for something else. And it was a fine feeling blade when I had it, but I didn't put it through the same paces that Skull did his. And so I don't know. Still, anyway, I digress. The point is, it makes me feel shitty, but I want to know if I'm alone in that. Maybe the $100 discount, or a little more than $100 discount, is a great chance to have a really cool one-handed sword, knowing what you know. What do you think? Do you think it's a pro? Like, hey, yeah, they discounted it. They acknowledged that there's a flaw and they discounted it. Maybe they didn't, note exactly what it was on the website. Maybe that was an oversight, or maybe they don't want to, buyer beware. Or is it a shitty thing, like, that's a dangerous fucking thing to do, and you have a responsibility to your consumers to educate them, or at least inform them about what that flaw is and why they're getting a deal on the blade, given that the tang is so small that it could turn into a helicopter of death if somebody decides to use it, which your blades at TFW are, intended to do. They're intended for use. So anyway, let me know what you think. I'd be interested to know if I'm being a little bitch about it, or if I have a point. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Thanks for listening to me rant. Cheers, and thanks for watching.